it's as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. Working out of home is not entirely easy. It's never done before. While organizations have been thinking about bringing in or introducing a policy of working from home, but it's never happened the way it is happening now. So with the whole COVID and the lockdown, you don't have help at home. You need to do your homework, you need to do your office work. And the way we manage it as a family is, of course, we share work. Each one, has responsibilities. Somebody needs to make the bed, or somebody needs to do the sweeping. And once we're done with all the household chores, you find your corner and you start your work. And once you're organized your day, then I don't think it should be that much of a problem. It's like just working out of office, right? You have your slotted time. You work from 9 to 6. You work from 9 to 6 in your corner that you have spotted for yourself. So when you're in office, people can see you through the glass doors and can see that, you're on a phone call or you seem to be engaged typing something important, and then they don't barge in. But when you're at home, people can't really see you. So many a times you're very inundated with work. There are multiple calls, multiple people asking you for approvals, for you to do certain things, so on and so forth. I think for that, what one needs to do is sort out work by importance. If your work that comes up, if it is an impromptu work that has just landed on your plate, see how important it is and rejuggle the work that you already have. The less important work should be pushed for a later time, and you just get and do and get over with it. The second thing, what you could do is negotiate with the person who's asking you to do the work. You ask them how important it is, number one. Number two, is there anybody else who can take it on? And number three is, how can we really share work? I mean, how much of it can you do and how much of it would you like me to do? At this point in time, I think collaboration is extremely important. Collaboration at home with your family members and collaboration with your colleagues who are not sitting under the same roof. I think it's extremely important to work as a team, even if you're not under the same roof. I have two grown-up children. One is going to be 14 and one is 20, but I can well imagine the young mothers who have very small little children, some infants and some toddlers and some very. So to them, what I would say is, keep them engaged. It's important to keep your child engaged during this. It's not easy. I will not say managing young children is easy. For me, it may be easy because my children are grown up. But for very small children, it's not always very easy because one, they've never been used to having their parents at home. So now they have their parents at home, they want their attention throughout. So give them meaningful things to do. Give them things that can engage them, either give them something to paint or, technology. Now there is an overload of technology. Actually, you're doing your classes online, you are connecting with your friends online. So my advice would be try and inculcate the habit of reading, some puzzles, some board games. It doesn't always have to be technology games, but keep them engaged in a meaningful manner. And very slowly but surely, children do understand the new norm, that parents are going to be working from home. They cannot be disturbed from this time to this time. And again, it all boils down to how do you organize your family, your time, and your office work. First, as women, we need to stop feeling guilty. We feel so guilty. The children are not taken care of, we feel guilty. The lunch is made late, we feel guilty. The help hasn't come home and you have to do the sweeping and the swabbing, and if you don't do it on time, you feel guilty. You haven't sent out a mail on time, you feel guilty. You haven't been able to answer a call that some colleague is making to you, you feel guilty. So I think women need to stop feeling guilty, number one. Okay. Number two, I think it is all about partnership. husbands have to play as much role and as the woman plays in a house. They also have work, and so does a woman. They now everyone's living under the same roof, so the husband has to also take on responsibilities, things that he can do, he should do. For example, walk the dog, okay, or make the bed. He doesn't need to really do the cooking, or most times, actually. I mean, my husband is a better cook. I mean, I can't cook, to save my life. So he can take over the cooking. Or for example, he does the sweeping, you do the swabbing, you do the utensils, he does the clothing. I think it's all about sharing and sharing responsibilities. The key to this is quality time. It's not as much time, but it is quality time. I think you need to be very disciplined about how you're going to balance out the work that you have to do for office and the work that you have to do for home. And establish it with your colleagues as well. Everybody is in the same boat. I believe people are very sensitive, more sensitive these days than they would be normally. Your bosses, your peers, your subordinates, your colleagues in general, everybody is in the same storm, right? So they will definitely be sensitive to it. If the point that I'm trying to make is sometimes you may not have time, but sometimes you may have a lot of time. So how do you really use that time with your children? I think is very, very important. Make sure when your work is finished, you're not in one corner on Netflix or chatting up with a friend. Use that time with your family. Use that time with your children. That's very important. The second very important point I want to make is not just children, but even your pets at home. They are used to having you at home now during COVID. They're used to seeing you all the time. When things get better and when offices start opening up, my advice is get your children and your pets used to seeing a little less of you. You need to start doing that when things are, close to really opening up. I'm saying it now because this is an opportunity. But as they've got used to having you at home, they also have to start getting used to you going back to the normal. Children need to be spoken to. Speak to your child as an adult. Don't speak to them like they are dolts and they have no brain. Number one. Stop mollycoddling them, treat them like adults, and they will understand. This is the X generation that we are talking about, right? It is not easy for them as it is not easy for us. They are constantly, instead of going to school and spending time with their students and their friends, they are cooped up in a room in front of a technology screen through the day. So that fun is taken out, number one. Number two, it's just technology. Even if they want to touch base with other friends, it's technology. You can't talk to other friends other than not being on your laptop or on your phone. So I think it needs to be, you need to explain to them that these are tough times and it is not going to be easy. So by telling them, oh, things will get better and everybody is, in the same boat and it's the same for everybody, don't. Your child is different and every child is different. So treat them differently is what I feel. Don't dismiss them when they come to you and say, oh, I'm bored. They may really be bored. Don't dismiss them and, when they come to say that, why is this happening? Hear them out. Give them a ear, hear them out, talk to them, try and sort out their problems. And the best way of doing it is asking them what they would like to do or what would they advise. If I was the child and they were the parent, what would their advice be for me? I have seen lots of parents, when they want their child to leave them alone, they just give them the phone or a iPad or something and say, okay, keep them busy. Don't do that. You see, instead of giving them a gadget to just keep them busy, and I'm talking about the young lot, give them a book instead, or give them something to color. or give them a paper and a pencil and tell them to draw something. I think that would be better. So just to get them off your hair, don't just give them a gadget and say, okay, just stay quiet now. I have work to do. Don't do that. Number one, because they are going to be on gadgets anyways from morning 8 to 1:30 in the afternoon in school. Try and reduce the screen time as much as possible with your children, as much as possible. The way to do that is look what you have at home. You have books, you have board games, you have coloring to do. They can bake with you. There are so many things that they can do. Actually, if you put your mind to it, you can find ways of engaging them better and properly. So I think you just need to apply your mind and engage them better. But screen time, my advice would be try and reduce it as much as possible. I know it's easier said than done, but try and reduce it as much as possible. This time is not easy for all of us, right? Especially the second strain has been difficult. Very close, near and dear ones, friends, relatives, you've seen losing lives. It has been a strain. My advice is, stop being a compulsive social media follower. We are very compulsively looking at our phones, and looking at what's put up on social media. And there is nothing but, so-and-so has died and so-and-so has passed away and so-and-so is critical. And that really gets you down, number one. So avoid that. Number two, try and be part of meaningful groups, helpline groups who can really work and do something for the needy. When you do that, you feel a sense of satisfaction that you have really helped somebody, Number three, keep yourself extremely safe and your parents and of course your family also very, very safe, because if you're safe, you can help somebody else. You, at this point in time, the other advice that I have is stop posting these, holiday pictures. And, there are some people who got away up to the mountains and posting these pictures that, we're having so much fun and this, that, and the other. I think it's extremely insensitive to the families who are losing people left, right, and center. So I think we all need to be a little sensitive where that is concerned. I'm not saying let what's happening out in the open bring you completely down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying balance it out. Be sensitive, and at the same time, make sure that you keep your peace of mind and your mental health, in a balanced manner. The important thing is to be, 1, be calm. 2, stop feeling guilty. 3, organize the household. Organize your family members, organize yourself. And by that, I mean, give everybody something to do. Don't take everything up on yourself, you see. Give everybody some work to do. Even the kids can do some work. I mean, it's very easy for the kids to take out the clothes from the clothes bin and put it into a washing machine, or to wash utensils, or to dry the utensils once they are washed. I mean, kids also can really chip in. So my advice is, young mothers should stop feeling guilty and organize their lives, because once you're in control and you're organized, it can be far, far easier than it comes across.